Hello, my darlings, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Mariya. This channel is about spirituality. Please subscribe below so we can be YouTube friends. Oh my God, you guys, this video is about the solar energies, the solar flares of April and the beginning of May. There is so much solar activity. I figured I would give you a solar update because, wow. Anytime during the times of a massive solar activity, we as human beings are a little bit out of whack. We feel like our bodies are not fully there. We cannot fully ground sometimes. Sometimes we have these weird sensations physically, energetically, emotionally, mentally, like all of the above. And they come out of nowhere. And sometimes it can feel so disempowering during the moments of high solar activity because you feel like you're falling apart and your energy is completely unpredictable. Like you have too much, then not enough, then too much again, and then not enough again, all in the same day. And sometimes it makes you feel like you're going crazy, or there's something wrong with you, or you're completely unstable, and all of the above. And that is why I wanted to make this video, because specifically in the month of April and the beginning of May, up until like May 10th, May 12th, there is a high period of like solar activity. The sun is exceptionally active. The sun is going to be working overtime, and it is going to impact every single living being on planet Earth, including us humans. So, what is the sun up to? Why is the sun so active? The sun goes through its own cycles, right? Like right now, we are in the solar maximum. So the sun is supposed to have all of these flares. I think what's the more interesting side of the story is like, what are the codes that are coming through? Like, why is it all of a sudden in the month of April and May? Like, what's happening? The sun is doing a massive cleanup of our higher chakras, is what's happening. And everything from your higher heart up is going through an upgrade, pretty much all at the same time. Certain things are going to start being uncluttered in your system. Certain things are going to be removed by these solar codes. So these massive solar codes are coming through and they're drilling into our high chakras, removing the dirt, debris, and everything else that is in there blocking our higher centers. So starting from the higher heart and going up. The most amount of work is going to be done on our throat and our third eye in the months of April and May. So be prepared that there's something around expression that you may be tested with or you may be challenged by. All kinds of weird sore throats and symptoms in the throat where like people just losing their voices. There's just something like all of these throat symptoms are going to be front and center. You may feel like it hurts to speak or like a sore throat all of a sudden, all kinds of things like going on with the throat, like weird phantom pains that you cannot explain. All of a sudden your throat just hurts. Also, you may get chest pains because the higher heart, right around the thymus area, is also one of the highest chakras that's getting a pretty massive upgrade and a lot of infusion of light. Now, our higher heart chakras, are very special because they are literally the center of our etheric bodies. Like our higher hearts are this connective tissue, this connective point between our vertical axis and our horizontal axis, our masculine and our feminine. And they're really bringing everything together. So our higher hearts are actually our centers of synthesis, where we synthesize and bring all of the energies together. And they are being activated. Sun has pretty pure intentions and intentions that are very forceful, shall I say. And the intention is to wake up the higher hearts of humanity. When the higher hearts get awakened, that is when we can truly step into the 5D consciousness. When all of the higher heart chakras of essentially, when every single human alive on planet Earth is able to connect with the energies of the higher chakras, the higher heart chakra. That is how we know we have transitioned into 5D. Up until then, we're not there yet. So higher heart chakras, thymus area gets activated. This may come physically, like you may have heat in your in your chest. You may be thirsty a lot when thymus gets activated. You may be thirsty. You may have issues around temperature control with your body. You may be too hot, then too cold, then sweats, and like all over the place. So temperature control issues, that's thymus gland being activated, our higher hearts. Of course, then when we go up, like I said, third eye is also what's being bombarded with massive amounts of solar frequencies and solar light. These are all kinds of headaches. And what I'm also seeing is like jaw pain, like phantom, like some of you may think it's a toothache, but it's not a toothache, you guys. It's like, or like your jaw hurts and you're like, I'm not even sure where this jaw pain is even coming from. Sometimes it may feel like you just wake up in the morning and it's like as if like the freight train hit you, or like if somebody punched you in the jaw, but nothing happened. That could be the symptom of your third eye being activated because, our faces are quite small. So, when something is being done to your third eye, your entire face, your entire facial like structure, all of your muscles may be undergoing adjustments and attunements. And so all kinds of facial pains as well. And headaches, of course, you would kind of expect that. So a lot of these weird symptoms coming through from the sun. The sun, like I said, is very active. It is sending a lot of codes of awareness as well, right? So as you are going through the reawakening of all of these higher centers, you may start getting messages, or you may get messages in a way that is just so crystal clear and like premonitions, or like watch out for intuition, because intuition is going to be at an all-time high. And start developing a new relationship with your intuition. Start really taking it seriously, because you would notice that if you get an intuitive hit, if you don't trust it, if you don't go with it, those hits become like far and in between. But if you lean into your inner guidance, that's when the universe starts sending you more and more and more. Please know that moments of solar activity are never easy on the body. A lot of work is being done on your body by your spirit guides as you sleep. That may manifest in a few different ways. Some of you may feel like it's harder for you to get a good night's rest. Like you're tossing and turning, you're like not all the way, sleeping, like you're in and out of consciousness, or like restlessness as you're sleeping. That could be like one of the symptoms of you going through an upgrade. Like I said, phantom pains that you cannot explain. Energy, feeling drained, by the way. Be ready for that, because there will be days, and sometimes like it's going to feel like there are 2 or 3 days in a row where the energy is at an all-time low, and you are not going to be able to explain what's going on. You are going to like question everything. You're going to be like, do I need to go check in with a doctor, do a test of my blood, do a blood test and like look at all of the vitamins and minerals? Am I like deficient in something? It's going to literally feel like that sometimes. And then all of a sudden, like something happens and like you're fine the next day. And it's because the solar, you were hit by the solar codes, you received it, and then your body was able to process it. But our bodies are going to be strained. Our bodies are going to be working overtime. So go gentle and easy on yourself if you can at all. If you can take it easy, if you can take some time off, especially if if the going gets too hard, if you start getting weird symptoms, just don't push yourself too hard, because the sun is already pushing. It's doing enough pushing for all of us, and you don't need to exacerbate the problem by being harsh on yourself. Just be gentle, be generous, allow yourself, if you need to sleep in, allow yourself that. Drink plenty of water. Be in nature if you can. Grounding in nature is really going to help this period go a lot easier, because when the sun sends us codes, it's like being jolted with electricity, like somebody just like throwing bolts at us. And it's actually really good to release those bolts from the soles of our feet into the Mother Earth. Like literally standing barefoot on the earth, releasing all of that electricity, all of those solar codes into the earth is going to really help you better acclimate to these energies, better absorb them, and not take more than you can handle, because each of us has a throughput. Like we all have a capacity of how many solar codes we can receive. But just because our capacity is small in certain instances doesn't mean that the sun is not going to still bombard us with the codes. And sometimes we would get overwhelmed, and the overwhelm can manifests itself in both being hyperactive and drained. It's like one or the other. And you would notice that just by being in nature, and by the way, also lying on the ground, like literally just go into the park, put like a little blanket. If you can, if you're in the area where the weather allows, put a blanket on the grass and just like really lie on your back, like arms and like feet spread wide, like a little star, and just like soak up the solar rays and like with gratitude, but allow the earth to take the excess heat. That's important. So almost like imagine that there's like this excess heat, this excess solar heat in your body, and imagine that seeping out of your body is almost like these golden little streams of energy seeping back into the earth, so the earth can really help you process this better. And that is what Mother Gaia is here for. Let me know in the comments if you've been feeling all of what I'm saying. If you have some weird symptoms, in the upper body, do let me know. Even as I'm recording this video, I'm sensing what's gonna happen for our, in the air realm of our throats, because I'm sensitive like that, and I'm like, oh my god, our throats are due for an upgrade. But it's good news, you guys. Like, why is the sun doing it? It's because the sun wants us to be more aligned with our message, to be able to speak our truth, to be able to show up, full strength, uh, you know, show up as who we are. No questions asked, no conditions. And not only that, but our throat centers are the centers of purpose. So we are all being rerouted closer to our purpose, like in a way that it's almost like it's going to be impossible to ignore the things that we're really meant to do with our lives. But it does come through these rude awakenings. So just breathe, meditate a lot. Like meditation is so, so, so good when energies are out of whack like that. Like meditate twice a day if you have to. Do grounding. I have a meditation app, One Mother. There are new meditations there all the time. At least once a week, I upload new meditations, and I'm always in tune with what's going on with the collective. Like every time I'm recording them fresh, like real time, pretty much. I usually record and then they're out like within, days, if not sooner than that. And they're always attuned to the energies. So if you feel like, oh my God, you don't know what's going on, just go on the One Mother and meditate with me, and you will feel so much better, especially during these tumultuous times. You got this. The sun is doing this for us, not to us. Remember that. And know that this too shall pass. And on the other side, we're going to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to rock and roll. So much love for you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, loves.